Guys, there's never a reason to feel hopeless. You have to understand that there's always hope. No matter how deep you dive, there will always be hope. There will always be something waiting for you at the other end. To feel hopeless is to simply cast yourself to the void of the endless cycle of never feeding that positive emotion of which you should feed. So you have to understand that hope is a reflection of your attitude towards the things you go against in life. So being hopeless is simply a reflection of the inadequacy of the individual lacking the positive mental attitude to facilitate themselves towards a positive trajectory for themselves. So you have to understand your attitude is very important. If you don't have the right attitude, you'll always fail. If you have the right attitude, you'll always win. It's about the matter of the quality of which you view yourself to be. If you believe yourself to be of low quality, well, your emotion is going to reflect that. Your attitude towards life is going to reflect that. The way you behave is going to reflect that. But if you believe that you're worth more, if you believe that your life is worth value, if you believe you have something to give to the world, well, this will unfold through the way you behave, through your attitude. And so you have to understand the importance of your attitude towards life and the hope which is garnered through the actual realization of the hope you seek to unfold by actually having that positive attitude, actually understanding how to deal with yourself when you're low, how to deal with the lows. And the lows is which makes the highs, and the lows would be nothing without the highs, and the highs would be nothing without the lows, because we exist in a state of active pendulum swinging. And so if you're not going to handle the lows with a positive attitude, how are you going to handle the highs? And so it's about handling the lows as good as you would handle the highs, and allowing this to unfold naturally through your life. And so it's about truly having that hopeful attitude, truly having that ideation of hope within you and feeding it with everything you have, no matter how you feel, no matter what's in front of you, no matter the circumstance. And it's these things which will propel you forward. It's these things which will spit you out at better outcomes, which will bring you to better paths in life, to be spat out at a better path in life, because you know that no matter what happens, you will not break. And it's that individual, it's that character who will get the most done in life. It's that character who will have the best experience in life. Whether it's low or high, we make the lows our highs, because we understand that it's about the individual, it's about the character. And so you can strip me from everything I have in life, and I'll still make the lows my highs, because that's who I am. That's the principles I exist within. And so you have to understand that your within is going to reflect your without. And so the reason you feel hopeless, the reasons you feel shattered, is a reflection of the inadequacy of the individual who chooses not to be and to not empower themselves with their self-talk, because it really comes down to the self-talk. If you cannot empower yourself beyond what you believe is possible, if you cannot empower yourself beyond what you see, well, you're always going to flounder through life. You're always going to be brought to an end where you don't want to be. You always have outcomes, shitty outcomes you don't want to have, because you lack the accountability and the responsibility of the individual to empower yourself through the way you talk to yourself, through the way you behave, through the way you take care of yourself. And so no matter what you go through in life, the hope will always be there as long as you're the hopeful individual. The hope evaporates the moment you become the pessimistic individual who no longer sees the light at the end of the tunnel, who no longer sees something more for themselves in the mirror. The moment that disappears and evaporates, the moment that, shrinks, the moment all hope is lost. And so it's truly the character, and it's the individual who seeks to unfold their life at a higher outcome, which will bring forth hope. But you can only do that through empowerment. And so it begins with the self-empowerment. It begins with the understanding that the hope is always there. It's about the individual and the character who is able to sustain and maintain the hopeful attitude through the lows. And it's the downs that make the high. So why not make the down the high? Why not make the down the part of your life where you get to experience and to learn, to make the adversity the adventure? And so it's that fucking simple. You choose if you're gonna be hopeless. You choose if you're gonna be hopeful, and it's all down to you and the individual in the mirror. And so if you choose to be hopeless, well, that's what you're gonna have to exist within forever, because you chose that for yourself. And so it's never too late to make the right choice. And so that's why we make the videos. It's that fucking simple. The reason I haven't been posting every day is because I've been dealing with medical issues on the side. And so even through this circumstance, we continue to prevail, and we continue to break beyond the cusp, and to have our breakthroughs, and to continue even through the downs. And that's what makes us us. It's that fucking simple. Peace.